Welcome to Revit. We're going to place a floor, a wooden floor, or a ceramic floor of your choice, and we're going to finish off the kitchen. So let's call up your former floor plan, and if you can see, you can go to the little doghouse up there, and if you roll it, you can see that it is empty on the bottom, so we need a floor there. Okay, so let's go to level 1 and make sure you have your project browser and your properties browser. You can right click and they can be checked on just right here. Right click, okay? All right, so let's just pick a floor. Architecture, let's go to floor. There you are, floor architectural. And I want you to pick a floor. You've done a wall section. You can tell that the floors are 10 to 12 inches. I'll pick the wood finish. Select it here. And then when you ever see that green check and that red X, that means you have to finish up a command by checking that. All right, since it's just a floor plan and it's square, I can use the square or I can use the line. So I can use the square just by coming over here to the corner and go to the corner and I hit the check. And there it is. So now if I roll my 3D, there it is. Okay. Remember, you can select it and you can check it and edit the type. You can change the type of wood it is. Okay. And the thickness, etc. Okay. All right. So we'll add more materials next week. All right. So now let's go back to the floor level. And we have our floor. And typically we're going to have tile here, but let's leave it like it is. And let's put our kitchen in there. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a kitchen counter and a refrigerator. Okay, so the first thing you have to make sure is this wall is, make sure this wall is 5 feet. That's a tub, that's 5 feet. And remember, you can go to architecture, component, place a component, load families, your Imperial Library, plumbing, MEP, fixtures, and you can say, look at your bathtubs. Pick a tub. This is a Maestro tub. Okay, and you can hit the space bar and rotate it. Space, space, space. Now, you know the chase wall is right here, so the drain has to be here because this is where the faucet is, and your back will be back here. So one more, and then you can drag it right in there, okay? Or you can pick the tub that's the right size. All right, so that's your tub, and now make sure that's, remember, make sure this wall is 5 feet from inside to inside, and make sure this wall right here from inside to inside is 6 feet 10, because we're dealing with cabinets, and you can work on a nominal size. So if you click here, remember, you can always change that. If I want to, I can say that's 2 feet 10, 2 feet 10, and watch this wall change. Okay, if I wanted a little bit more, I'll say 2 feet 11 if I wanted that to be equal. Oops, I'm going to go for 2 feet 9, I'm sorry, 9. There it is. So I can change that, and that's how you change those walls. So once you get those walls in order, what you're going to do is you're going to start looking at the cabinetry. So cabinets are 36 inches high, 30 inches in the bathroom for children. So the adults are usually in the kitchen, and you have a countertop. The countertop is 25 inch, 1 inch overhang lip. So the cabinets are 36 inches tall and 24 inches deep. And they have a backsplash about 4 inches by 3/4. So that's what we're going to draw today. First of all, let's get the refrigerator in there, and we can do the stove later. So let's put the refrigerator in there. So let's go to architecture, components, load families, and we're going to find a refrigerator. Okay? All right, so refrigerators and specialty equipment, domestic, high-end, or mid-range. It doesn't matter. Let's pick a nice refrigerator. There's one with a stainless steel, Samsung. Oh, the tub keeps coming up. The previous one will come up. 3. Let's see. 3, 2. Let's see. 1. Okay, let's go to architecture. Components. Place a component. Load families. And double click on the refrigerator. And let's see if it's in here now. Is that refrigerator in there? There's a deciduous tree. Okay. I didn't escape all the way. So let's go to architecture, component. Let's place a component. Let's go to load families. And let's go to specialty equipment, domestic, mid-range. They have refrigerators. Or you can go to high-end, more specialty refrigerators. This is stainless steel. All right, let's see, where is that refrigerator? Okay, stainless steel. Let's go to the left hand. Actually, we have to do the right hand because that door is going to swing the other way, right? Right hand. So there's my refrigerator freezer right there. Okay, now, so, and if that's too big, we'll just move it, make another one. Now, sometimes those letters are too big, so you can click on it and you can edit it, and you can uncheck that show label, apply, and say okay, and it goes away. Okay, and it has the plumbing and the water fixtures right there. All right, so let's start doing the countertop over here. Okay, and as you know, there's a stove right here. So we're going to put that stove in there. Let's put a 30-inch stove in there. And let's put a Lazy Susan in here and a counter. So let's begin. Architecture, component, place a component, load families. And let's go to the cabinets. It's called casework. Casework. And we want base cabinets. There we are. Let's put the base cabinets in first. Let's put it the Lazy Susan in there. This is the corner cabinet. Select it. It's already specified. Let's see. It's in here too. Let's see. There it is. Base cabinet angle. It's only one size, 36. And it's right there. Okay. And let's just show you what that looks like. Let's go to the 3D. And we can clearly see that's what it looks like. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. And let's go back to level 1. And then we're going to put this, the one here with the sink, and a little smaller one over here. So let's go, and since we're still in there, we can go to architecture, components, place a component, and we're still in there, same family. So let's look at a base cabinet with drawers. We want the one without the drawers that has a sink. Okay, there's one with a sink. So the sink, we can do a 30-inch sink. There we are. And that one has the sink over it. So now you know you can space bar it, and you rotate it, space bar, space bar. There you go, right there. Okay, sometimes I always go up here to 3D and check my handiwork and make sure I'm placing things in right. There they are. So now there's the kitchen cabinet. Now we need to put one here and one there in the refrigerator. I mean in the stove. So let's go back to your level 1, and then we're going to put this last one in here. Now the reason why this dimension has to be 6'10" because this is 36, 30, and this is 15. So let's go to architectural. Let's go to component. Place a component, load families. Okay, we're still in that cabinet family, so we don't need the kitchen anymore. We just need a base cabinet, double door sink unit. We don't want that one. We don't want the corner one. Let's see, there's one. There's a generic one. 15, there you are. So now there's a 15-inch, and you know we've got a space bar, space bar, and there it is right there. Okay, so, and there's some overlap there. That means something's not placed right. So here it is. So let's move this one. Go to move. AutoCAD knows where you want to go. Snap that. There you go. Let's select that. Okay, go to move. Select this one and snap that. Okay, go to move. See that snap? There it is. And then now this one is okay. So actually that needs to be 16 inches. But that will be a filler piece right there. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so we can get this one right on the money there. All right, there you go. All right, so we need one little piece there, and that will be a filler piece. Or you can move the wall up if you like. So you can make the wall 3'1" and see what happens. Let's see if it will move that wall. There it is. That's good. So now you're saving your contractor a lot of work. So now let's look at your handiwork. Let's go to the 3D. Let's look at the whole thing. There it is. Okay, good. Okay, we don't want the window going below the countertop. Maybe it's fine, but let's just check that anyway. Now this window could be placed more toward the middle of the sink. So you can actually move that sink. Instead of 2'3" 7/8", we can make it 2'6". See what happens. Wow, that looks almost right in the middle. I think go 2'7", it'll be right in the middle. 2'7". 2'6" is probably a lot better. 2'6". Okay, that's good. All right, so there it is. Now we need a stove right here. So let's go get that appliance. Let's go to component. Okay, and place a component, and let's go to load families, and we're going to go to special equipment again, domestic, high end, and let's go to the gas stove. Do we have a gas stove? Let's go back. Let's go mid-range. There we are. Let's put the gas stove in there. Let's see. Maybe they have a 30-inch gas stove. Let's see. Okay, gas range. There's a 30-inch right there. Okay. And we know the back is shorter, so we're going to spacebar it. There you go. And we're going to lock that right in there. There you go. And now what we got to do is put that other cabinet in there. So depending on the size of our refrigerator, that's what's going to be. We want about 1 inch off the wall and a 1/2 inch after the cabinet. So we can probably figure out what the dimension is there. We can measure that, right? Select and select. Okay, it's almost, it's 24 inches. So we can always measure that. So anyway, let's go to component again, place a component. There's our cabinets again. We're in the same family, so let's just look and find range electric. Let's go to the cabinets above there, way up there. There they are. Base cabinet with no, we don't want the double sink. We don't want the lazy Susan. We want there it is. So there's the 24 right there. Bingo. Right there. Okay. All right, so now let's, wait a minute, let's making sure that the front is where the front should be. There it is, the front is where the front should be. Go back to level 1, and let's click on it, let's see. And we're gonna move it where it should be. Is that in the right place? Yeah, it's just in the right place. Oh, okay, it is in the right place. All right, so that looks good. So now, let's look at this one more time before we put the countertop on. There's our range, there's our cabinets, and there's our refrigerator. Okay, good. All right, let's do the cabinets, okay? So one of the things about let's go to the countertops. Let's do the countertops. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to architectural And we're going to go to model in place. So this is different. In architectural, we went to component, we went to model in place, we gave it a name, casework, and I'll just say casework 2 this time. You can get whatever name you want. We went to extrusion. Now, it's the countertop is approximately 2 feet 10. Okay. Now remember these numbers, 2 feet 10. And the counter is at 3 feet. Remember, so the counter is 3 feet above the floor. So make sure those extrusion start, extrusion end. So starting at 2 foot 10 on top of the cabinets, and it's going to end at 3 feet. So let's go to here to the line command again and start here. 1, 2, let's screw it under, 3, and let's go to 25. 20. Okay, I'm going to type in 25 inches, enter, and I'm going to do what I did before. I'm going to go straight, cancel. I'm just going to go to line again, line, I'm going to type in 25 inches, 25 inches, enter, and I'm going to go, Revit's going to make it parallel for me. There you go. And now I'm going to fillet those 2 corners, left select, and left select. There you go. So now I have a counter at the right level on top of the cabinets, and it's approximately 1 inch wide. So now, yep, I want to save. Let's go to 3D and look at the cut. Now that looks more realistic, doesn't it? More believable. All right, now we got to do this counter right here. Same way. Let's do that. All right, so since we have these numbers locked in, that's a good way to stay on there without doing the splash, because the splash has another different dimension and you don't want to change that twice. Model in place, remember, casework, okay, and we give that a casework 2. We might as well say that too. Okay, let's specify a different name. Let's call it casework 3, okay, and extrusion, right? And then since this is a square, we could use a square right here. See that? That's a nice little square there. And remember, we're doing all the countertops out at the same time, so we won't have to change that. We will have to change it at the splash block. Now, Revit is going to go right here. See, it's locking in right at that inch mark right there. See there? There you go. And I'm going to check, and I'm going to finish the model. So now, let's look at that again. Bingo, I got my countertops on there, really nice. Let's see, well, our window is high enough. Okay, that's good, okay. And you can put the top cabinets in there too later. All right, so let's see. We're gonna put the backsplash in there the same kind of way. So we're gonna go to architectural, components, model in place, and we're going to go to casework. And we're gonna give it another name, another number. And it doesn't matter, and oops, we're going to go to extrusion. Now once you go to extrusion, make sure these are correct. Now remember, when we put the countertop in, the countertop started at 2 foot 10 above the cabinet, and it ended at 3 foot 0 because it's 2 inches. 2 foot 10 plus the 2-inch countertop that we place is 3 feet. Now the backsplash starts at the 3 foot 0 countertop. So starting at 3 foot 0. That's why you do both countertops first. And then you do the backsplash. So this is 3 feet. Okay, and then this is 3 feet 4. Okay, because now this is 3 feet, and then 4 inches above that is 3 foot 4. Okay, so that's how you do that. Let's go to architecture and model in place, casework. Okay, and we're going to click on extrusion. Now remember, when you click on extrusion, you have to change, because this is the dimensions for the countertop that you place. The countertop started at 2 foot 10 above the cabinet and ended at itself on 3 foot 0. Now the backsplash is going to start at the top of the counter, which will be, the extrusion will start at 3 feet. Okay, and then it will, how tall is it? Is 4 inches, so it'd be 3 feet 4 inches. There you are. Okay, So now there's 3 foot. Wait a minute, let's 3 foot 0, and that'll be 3 foot 4. Okay, and hit apply. So now let's go to the line. Let's start here. 1, 2, all the way down. Okay, 3, and we're going to go 0.75 inches. Enter. And then we're going to go all the way back up here and stop. Okay, and then we're going to start this one right here, and we're going to go down 0.75 line. Let's come straight down 0.75 inches. Enter. And let's just draw a line right there and end it. Now we can fillet those two. There you go, and there you go. So now there is your total backsplash. Let's hit the green check and hit the green check. Now let's look at our handiwork. Wow, look at that nice backsplash. So now the only thing we have to do is put it on right there at the counter. And look, I made a boo-boo. I put my my stove in backwards. So I'm gonna change that. Looking at the backsplash, let me know that. So I'm gonna click on there, and I'm gonna go to rotate. The angle is 180. 180. Enter. Bingo, there it is. So now let's look at that now. That's more like it, isn't it? But is there a space behind it? Yeah, there's a space. Let me change that. Let me make sure this, yeah, that's clearly a space for little vermins behind there. There you go. All right, so now let's do the backsplash right here on the last one. So let's go to architecture component, model in place, casework, give it a number or a name, and then we will extrude. And remember, right after you extrude, make sure you're starting at the 3 foot 0, ending at the 3 foot 4. Good. So now I'm going to start the line right here, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to come down 0.75 inches, enter, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to match it, and I'm going to say check and check. Now I'm going to go back and check my work. Beautiful. Now that's what I'm talking about. There you go. All right. And now let's do the sink. Let's go to level 1. I have to edit this countertop. Now remember, the countertop is on top of the cabinet, which is 210, and the top of the countertop is 3 feet, so it's 2 inches. So let's click on it and edit it. Edit in place, okay? And then we go to create, and then we go to void forms, and we go to void extrusion, okay? Now, again, this dialog of the extrusion end and start shows up. So the extrusion starts at 2 foot 10 again, right? And it ends at 3 foot 0, because that's the top of the counter. You want to cut through the top of the counter. Those are those counter dimensions, right? All right, so 3 foot 0 and 2 foot 10. So let's go to the counter and make a little rectangle. There you are. And check that and check it again. So now let's look at your countertop. You've got a hole in there now. Look at that. So now let's go back to your level 1 and drag and drop a nice sink in there. And if the sink isn't correct, you can, if you click on there, you see those arrows, you can move them in and out. So let's go to architecture components, place a component, load families. Let's see, that's a nice sink right there. Oh, that's a little space bar, space bar, space bar. And let's put that bad boy right there, okay? Okay, escape out of there, okay. So now we can edit these so that they fit exactly right where the counter is. There you go. Okay. So now let's do our final 3D. Wonderful. Oh, let's see. All right, so let's see. We're going to move that over just a bit, okay? All right, let's see. All right, so now we're going to roll this footage here, and we want you to make a nice rendering so that I can see everything. So let's go to Find, and let's go to Ray Trace and see what happens. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so, and that's what we want. Okay, so that's what we're looking, oops. And that's what we're looking for. All right, and then you're going to save that. I'm going to print screen. And I'm going to save this drawing for the grade. There you go. Take a snapshot, share it with the rest of the class. All right, and we'll call it Floor Plan and Kitchen Rendering. All right, let's see. Kitchen, Kitchen. Okay, and I always put my initials, WJB, and I'm saving it in I'll save it in SummerCAD. Save and save. Okay, great, gang. We'll see you next time.